It's your boy Jimmy. Oh, oh, no, 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 no. Straight from y'all, street to Wall Street. Anybody tells you that money is the root of all evil doesn't have any. Whoa, no. Dude, wake up, get that girl hyped up just to get a little bit. The only woman in the morning wanna turn on his Becky quick. While the average man's looking at curves like she fine as heck. I'm over here looking at tails and wicks like buy or sell. I left the chaos for the market. Nah, I don't want a street spot, I want a stock pick. I know the style got flair, trigger my stop losses, but I ain't got time for distractions. My Vivo with PFs crossing, rich with hot trades. I'm pushing hot keys, straight to G's and plans to make grand. Still in my tank top, Batman pajamas, house slides in about 5. Hot picks of the day, cause I like the way the dial moves. For hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottom. Now I know some folks don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my Mac day? You see we're different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dogs, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, I grow at the market. Waking up with the future, stacking up some commas. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals. They used to watch me move dance, roll style, now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Used to run from the ATF and the car, now I run down ETF and make profit. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles while I'm still in my sandals. See me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. He said today I'm taking the risk, they got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call the short squeeze. You get the drop, she pulls the trigger and shuts it down. If she stays on my watch list, I might have to keep her, but I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Go ahead, be bold. Trader, get your squad head. I'll double top that guy, head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over, cause I see big moves in contracts. If I say I make 1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get calls, get split, get delisted and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, eat my bacon and eggs, light up watching them candles, while I'm still in my sandals. They used to watch me move them packs, roll stop it. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq, profits. Used to run from the ATF and the cops, now I run down ETFs. Hey, my plug that we don't trade, right on what we do, man. Hey, Prada, Suge, Mike, what we doing, dog?
Make profit.
That TTG money gang.
We making profit.
We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend, but are ready to get down to business because the government is back open. Yes, we've got some good news over the weekend. It looks like the Senate has gained enough support to pass through a new version of the CR to reopen the government through January. And markets like it. There's a couple of other pieces of news that happened over the weekend that we got to get to and we have to discuss. There's also this word about $2,000 stimulus checks coming to not everybody, but coming to a large majority of people. That is good, just in the form of a stimulus check. And I think we're going to talk about what happened the last time that people saw stimulus checks. Where did that money go? We're going to talk about that as well because the markets are reacting to that also, with crypto giving you a sizable bounce as soon as we heard about the $2,000 checks and as soon as we heard about the government opening back up. There is also there's a lot of stimulating things that happened this weekend. Okay, not just the government's back open, not just the $2,000 checks. There's some other stuff also that I don't think a lot of people are really necessarily talking about. that we are going to discuss here on this live stream. What are these stimulating things? If you followed my live stream last week, I told you last week when we were doing the earnings, we were covering all of your mega cap earnings. We were covering Apple and Amazon and Alphabet and Meta and Microsoft. We covered all those earnings. And I had told you guys during those live streams that I was looking for the markets to pull back in the beginning of November. If you were on my live stream last Sunday, we talked about the markets pulling back in the beginning of November. We got that pullback. We were all over inside of True Trading Group. We had some really great short positions that were on OKLO being one of them, which was one of my biggest trade of the week. Last week was that short on OKLO, which has since been closed out, and final take it profit, and that trade has been closed out. And we were on the short side of the trade. Then you got the panic flush out that happened on Friday, where the markets got a little bit deeper than even I thought we were going to on that Friday. And then now you had this technical bounce back, and now you have everything that happened over the weekend. I think we have to have a real serious conversation about whether or not Friday's low is the low of the pullback that I was expecting in the month of November. And I'm not quite ready to say that it most definitely is, but between everything that happened this weekend, coupled with the technical chart, there's a lot of things that are pointing to the upside. And we also have the futures market that's up 0.5 percentage point on the ES. And we also want to cover something really amazing that happened this weekend. I don't want to tell you guys too much about it. I don't want to give away, too much. I want to hold this one a little tight for the moment. But I want to share with you something actually really incredible and amazing that actually happened this weekend that a lot of members of True Trading Group, that a lot of members in True Trading Group actually witnessed live. And for those of you that did not witness it live, we do have a full recording of it. And we're going to talk all about that here today on this live stream, as well as my top trade ideas for the week. I'm going to give you guys my game plan, exactly how I plan on making money this week. What are the stocks that I'm going to be going after? What are the prices I'm going to be getting in them at? I've got my list written down right here on my notebook. We're going to break it all down right here on this live stream. So folks, welcome. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and the head trader at True Trading Group. I'm thrilled to have you guys with us tonight. TTG literally exists to help you learn faster, trade smarter, and to profit sooner. It's exactly what we're going to do here on this live stream. We are very proud to be powered by our partners at the Nasdaq, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, DataBento, and of course also Unusual Whales. You see, True Trading Group is an award-winning platform, guys. We received the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. We are a finalist for 3 awards here this year in 2025. TTG is a FinTech platform that we consider the Bloomberg terminal for retail traders. All right, it's a platform that is built on education, that's backed by experience, strategies that are proven by success, and tools that think around you, the individual. The AI tools that are available on this platform that is TTG is customized to the individual user. Okay, so it's not going to give you a static response if I ask a question versus if you ask a question. Now, depending on what the question is, it can give the same response. But if you're asking for trading guidance, if you're asking for risk management, you're asking for stop loss and take profits, you're asking for what contract should you buy or what stock should you go after, we are going to get completely different responses because you and I have different experience levels, different strengths, different weaknesses, different account sizes, and different risk tolerance. So the AI is going to be customized to you, the individual user. Members of True Trading Group are part of something real special, folks. I couldn't be any more proud to be with each and every single one of them on this journey. So hope you guys are ready to roll your sleeves up tonight and get down to business. Smash that like button if you guys haven't done so yet. Show some love, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams, okay? Now, you might be wondering, who is this guy and why should I listen to whatever it is that he has to say? I don't think you should pay attention to the stuff I discuss on this channel because I claim to be the world's greatest trader. I'm not. I'm a damn good trader. I'm not the world's greatest, all right? I think you should pay attention to what I discuss on this channel because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. Okay, I got my start trained by professionals on Wall Street. My very first job out of college was working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. While there, they had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. Okay, shortly after that, 2008 happened. That was the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash. but it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group has over 10,000 members in 115 different countries. Truly a global community here at True Trading Group. There's something for everybody. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. We trade stocks, options, crypto, futures, you name it, we trade it. A little something for everybody here at True Trading Group. So whether you guys are looking to just get started or if you're experienced and you're looking to level up, you're in the right place. Stick around, we'll make some money together. All right. Now, first thing I want you to do before we get into tonight's content, I want you to make sure you're watching this video live. Okay. So in order to do that, I want you to look at the bottom left of your screen right down there and make sure you see a red dot next to the word live. Okay. If you do not see a red dot next to the word live, very simply, that means you're watching this video delayed. Okay. It means you're watching this video delayed. So make sure you just click the word live. That'll bring you up to speed. And then you should see a red dot. You should see a red dot at the bottom left of your screen. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to take a quick sip of water because I have a lot to say. I want to make sure my throat doesn't get dry. Okay. Let's go through it. First, let's take a quick check-in on futures. Make sure we're still holding a gap up, and we still are trading right near the highs. Okay, up 0.5%. Okay, up 0.5%. All right. Now, the markets are rallying here. Listen. We honestly, the futures market looked strong Friday. It was a technical setup that probably would have led me to believe we probably would have bounced or moved a little bit higher initially off of your futures open. But like I said, we got some news that happened over the weekend. Now, what are the pieces of news that have happened over the weekend? Couple of things. First, President Trump announced $2,000 stimulus checks from the tariff revenue that's been collected to be issued to Americans. High income earners are not going to be receiving those checks. But I think it was 200 something million people, I think, would qualify for the $2,000 check. That is a stimulus. Okay. That is a fiscal stimulus. Okay. You can look at that as in a similar situation as the stimulus checks that were handed out during COVID. Okay. It is a stimulus check. All right. That's first and foremost. That should give you an increase in consumer spending. Second, you have a deal to reopen the government. Okay. Now, the deal to reopen the government also can provide stimulus because now people are going to get their paychecks. People are also going to get their back pay. So all of your government employees that have not gotten paychecks for the last several weeks will now be getting paid. Those people that were not getting their paychecks, you are going to see now an increase in consumer spending from those people because it's safe to assume that they probably were not spending really when they were not receiving their paychecks. So there's a stimulus right with that. But here's the other part. Here's the other part of this. You have seen a real deterioration or a weakening in the job market over the last couple of months. The area of the United States that actually currently has the highest unemployment rate is, drum roll, Washington, D.C. There have been a lot of government workers that have been furloughed and then eventually laid off. Part of the deal that is being agreed to, or that was agreed to by Congress, well, the Senate, still has to go back to the House, but it's obviously, the House already approved the CR. The Senate was the one that was not approving it. So now that if you get enough votes in the Senate to approve it, it goes back to the House, but the House has already approved the first version. So let's just assume that they're going to approve the second, then it moves on to Trump's desk. So technically, by order of process, it has to go back to the House, but it's just widely expected that the House is going to pass it through because they've passed it through before. So That's why everyone's talking about, hey, we have a deal to reopen the government, even though technically it has to go back to the House. But as part of that deal is that anyone that was furloughed and then laid off in the federal government needs to be brought back on. So people that had previously lost their job are now getting their jobs back. Okay. Also with back pay. That is stimulating. So we are at a point right now where over the weekend, you had multiple different things take place, from the checks to the government reopening, but then also part of the government reopening is to bring back on any of the laid off furloughed workers from the federal government and give all those people back pay. That should give you a boost in consumer spending right into the holiday season. So it's the perfect time in the economy as far as seasonality and calendar wise, with the holidays coming up, which is the biggest consumer spending period of the year, with the expectation. I think I saw an expectation. I got to go back and check. I thought I saw an expectation. It said like $1 trillion of holiday spending is anticipated. This absolutely certainly will help that. If you were to roll through Thanksgiving with the government still shut down, you were going to have most likely horrible Black Friday sales, and the start of the holiday shopping season would have started off probably incredibly poorly. This getting done prior to that kind of saves the holiday shopping season, which is going to bode well for a lot of companies, specifically a company like Amazon. Amazon is on my watch list. Amazon's biggest time of year is this holiday shopping time period. And the fact that you're getting the stimulus checks and you're getting the government reopening. So current government employees are going to get their checks and their back pay, and furloughed and laid off government employees are going to be getting their jobs back and getting back pay. That's a lot of stimulus for consumer spending. That's why I'm saying, with all of those things happening together, you kind of have to start talking about, was Friday's low the low of this November pullback that we were anticipating? Okay, if you've been on my live stream at all over the last 2 weeks, then you know that we've been talking about a pullback into the beginning of November. Well, here we are, November 9th, and you can sit here and say, is it already over? The market's pulled back 4%. 4%. That's it. It's the biggest pullback we've had since the sell-off that we experienced in April. Since that April sell-off, we haven't really had more than a 2-day sell-off, or a 2-day pullback, rather, I should say. And we really haven't pulled back more than 2.5% or so. We pulled back about 4% over a period of about 2 weeks. So it's the longest pullback since that April bottom was put in on the tariff announcements. I thought, prior to all this news happening, I thought we'd get a little bit more than that. I thought we'd have a multi-week pullback, which we got a 2-week pullback, but I thought we'd get a little bit deeper on the SPY. I thought we would get maybe down to the low 650s and get into test this support level that you guys see here. Okay. I thought that we would get down to this zone that we have here. Okay. That's what I thought, but we didn't quite get down there. That was all this support that we had here, right? Just beautiful looking level. I thought we would have got down there, but it kind of feels like you have the possibility of maybe that's the low here for this November pullback, and the market then tries to rally itself back on the back of this stimulus. I do think it's entirely possible. I'm coming into the week with a long bias on the back of this news and this gap up on futures, but I'm not 100% sold on that. Is absolutely, definitely with 100% conviction that that's the low of the pullback. So I do have a couple of short ideas on my watch list, but I am coming into this week with a little bit of a bullish bias. I will tell you this before I get into the individual stocks and my game plan of exactly how I plan on making money. I will tell you guys this now. When you look at what's taking place, this continues to feed into my thought process from a macro view. From a macro view, the way that I look at this is that I still think that the markets are going to move higher. I still think that, and I'm talking bigger picture now, a little bit longer term. I still think the markets are going to move higher. I still don't think that the high of this bull market is in yet. And when you look at what's taking place, there's some things that I look at here that make me say, we have to really capitalize and take advantage of what's about to unfold before us, because this is some unprecedented stuff. Think about what's taking place right now for a moment. The market is 2.5% away from an all-time high, okay? 2.5 or 3% away from an all-time high. We just made an all-time high 2 weeks ago. And what's happening? The Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates. We're receiving stimulus checks. Those are not the type of things that you see with unemployment at 4.3% and stocks 2.5%, 3% away from an all-time high. Typically, when the Fed is cutting interest rates and when the government is doing fiscal stimulus, so there's two different types of stimulus. There's fiscal stimulus and there's monetary stimulus. Fiscal is from the government, monetary is from the Fed. You are getting stimulus from both sides. You're getting monetary stimulus in the form of Fed cutting rates. The Fed already is announced the stopping of quantitative tightening in December. It will not shock me in the slightest bit if in December the Fed tells you that they're going to be considering starting up quantitative easing in the form of purchasing bonds that would help bring down bond yields, which would help lower the interest payments on the United States debt. So you already have monetary stimulus in play. Now you're about to get fiscal stimulus. The last time that we got fiscal stimulus with monetary stimulus was 2021's explosive rally. And if you take a look at this chart, I want you to take a look at this chart. It is identical. It's identical. This is the COVID crash. So here's your COVID crash. Then you got fiscal stimulus and monetary stimulus. And then that happened. That happened for the next 2 years. Well, now let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. And then you got no more fiscal stimulus, no more monetary stimulus, right? The Fed started raising interest rates, right? No more stimulus. Says Fed started raising interest rates. Okay. Then what just happened? There's your market sell-off and crash, right? Just like what happened back here during COVID. There's your market sell-off. A very quick, sharp decline followed by a V-shaped recovery. Just look at the chart, right? Sharp decline, 2-month sharp decline, V-shaped recovery, right back to all-time highs. Okay, right back to all-time highs a couple months later. 2-month decline, sharp, V bottom, new all-time high a couple months later. Fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus. Check, got it. Here, 2-month pullback, very sharp, severe, V-shaped bottom, new all-time high a couple months later. And what do we have now? Monetary stimulus and fiscal stimulus. What if this is just starting? What if this is the start of another move that looks like that? There's an age-old saying on Wall Street, and it is do not fight the Fed. Do not fight the Fed. When the Fed is raising interest rates and doing quantitative tightening, the markets are most likely going to go down. When the Fed is cutting interest rates and doing quantitative easing, the markets most likely go up. Now, what I am the most interested in with the government shutdown coming to an end is give me all of this economic data that I have not had for the last month and a half. Give me all of that economic data, please. What's the inflation rate? What's the unemployment rate? I need to know these things. I will tell you that I think the unemployment rate has probably gone up just a little bit from the 4.3 number that we got last, but bringing back the workers that were previously laid off from a federal government level, that's going to soften that. And I think you might see this little bit of a kind of canceling each other out when you see jobs coming back on the federal side, while you see some jobs being lost on the private side. Because previously to that, over the last months prior to that, you've seen a massive loss in federal jobs, and while the private sector was holding up very, very well. Over the last month or so, you've seen the private sector now start to fade off a bit and start to weaken out, and you've seen some layoffs in the private sector. But now I think you're going to start to see a lot of people come back on the federal side. All while you're getting stimulus from both ends. So I look at that and I say to myself, yes, valuations are high. Yes, the valuations are stretched, but you can't fight the Fed. And that's why I am still not bearish this market overall. Sure, I know I said to you 2 weeks ago, I think we're going to get a pullback in the month of November, but that's it. And I've made it very clear that I'm not expecting a crash or anything like that. I still think that you have to stay long this market. I still do feel that way. And I'll tell you this. The one thing, here's the negative of this, and I think it's further out. This is why I'm telling you, we got to take advantage of this right now. We got to take advantage of this right now because if the federal government and the Federal Reserve are both going to be stimulating an economy or stimulating an economy with stock markets right at all-time highs, while unemployment is still relatively low, and the AI boom of hundreds and billions of dollars of CapEx spend and investment going forward over the next couple of years, I think that we're in a period where we need to take advantage of that easing. And because I think eventually the problem is going to become, people are worried about like an AI bubble. I don't think you really necessarily need to be worried about an AI bubble. It's the debt bubble, I think, will eventually be the problem. But that's not a today problem. That's a tomorrow problem. And I think we got to take advantage of what could end up being a melt up where the markets continue to go higher based on fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus, quantitative easing, which is monetary stimulus, rate cuts. I just don't think you can fight the Fed. I don't think you can fight the Fed. And as I sit here today and I'm looking at things, I'm looking around, I feel like remaining bullish is still the way to go. I recently trimmed my Palantir position. I trimmed my Palantir position right before earnings at 207. That stock's now 180. Well, it's trading higher now in the overnight, but it was at 180 on Friday. It's going to trade a little bit higher than that, but I trimmed it at 207. And I thought maybe I would have an opportunity here to buy some of these stocks back at even cheaper prices than where they landed on Friday. But I'm starting to think that we might just have to start thinking melt up and see what this does to consumer spending. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. That is really what I'm thinking. So I think eventually all of that stimulus, once that stimulus comes to an end, I do think eventually that it catches up, just like it caught up in 2022, right? In 2022, it caught up. And then you had the pullback or the bear market of 2022, which proved to be a phenomenal buying opportunity, which we ended up buying. But like I said, I think it's a tomorrow problem. And I think we got to take advantage of this as it's in front of us. I think it's a tomorrow problem. I think right now the markets still have more upside. I really do. And one thing I want to talk to you guys about that happened this weekend that is absolutely amazing is this is something that a lot of people saw live. As I sit here and I was telling you that, I thought that the markets would give us a little bit more of a pullback. And we actually have a quick little video clip that I want to share with you guys. We shortened the video clip, by the way, because it was a long training session that took place. We just need a minute to load that video up for you guys, but I'll just kind of tell you what happened real quick. And then we're going to get into my top trade ideas. I've got 6 different ideas that I'm going to share with you guys here. Like I said, I've got 4 longs and 2 shorts that I'm going to share with you for my game plan coming into this week. But here's what we have. Here's what took place. There was a free training this weekend for all of our AI tools. So all of our members were welcome to come into the main chat room, and my business partner, co-founder of True Trading Group, Adam, held a live free AI training to show all members how to use all the AI tools that we have. Okay. And he spent hours with everybody on Saturday going through and showing everybody that. While he was going through, we have a predictive model within our AI. And this is Mari. Mari's our AI. Mari is what received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. And we are finalists for 3 more awards this year. And inside of that AI model, we have a predictive probability analysis where you can actually just ask it, hey, should I buy? And is NVIDIA a good buy right now? Or you can say, what price do you think Tesla is going to close at today? Or what price do the SPY is going to open at tomorrow? You can ask it those things. And basically what it does is it does actual computer science, or actual data science rather, excuse me. It does actual data science, and it runs tens of thousands of simulations based on all of the data that it has available. So it considers obviously the candlesticks, the price action, the volume. It considers a ton of different indicators. It considers options flow, considers dark pool data. It considers level 3 data. It considers social media sentiment. It considers news catalysts and events, both past and upcoming. And it runs those simulations, tens of thousands of those simulations, and then it gives you the highest probable outcome based on the tens of thousands of simulations. And what essentially happened this weekend, while showing and demoing that tool, okay, Adam had asked, where do you think, okay, and I'll have Adam come on in just a second to walk you guys through this, where Adam actually said, where do you think that the ES is going to open Sunday evening? Okay. And I'll have Adam come on now and kind of run through with you guys that whole predictive analysis. Because we have that video clip. And like I said, this is a shortened video clip because it was a long training session. So we just kind of compacted and shortened it up for you. But we do want to go ahead and kind of show you guys our AI's predictive capabilities. And then we can take a look and see where the futures actually opened up with the big gap up here today. So everyone give a shout out here to Adam.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right, so what they're going to see right now is they're going to see a sped up version of what we did. But essentially it was we've done this with the SPY and with individual tickers. We've never done it with futures before.
Right.
And so we spent about 45 minutes building out essentially what would be like the first try run of this for futures. As a group, there was like 600 people in there that can attest, like they saw this live. And I did this in a member's account, like not trading account, but like in their AI account. Right. Awesome. So it wasn't even like, oh, it was mine or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Charles, sorry, brother. But I'm going to put, your name's going to be on the screen in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So let me hit play. It's about 2 minutes. I'll just there's no sound. I'll just kind of narrate like what's taking place. So we literally go ahead and we want to type in, we want to use code interpreter, because essentially what it is we want to make sure that this is actually run. We want to extract thousands and thousands of lines of data quickly. And then we want to run that through real machine learning, real data science. And we want to get real answers. We also want to base it on sentiment as well. Okay. So we went ahead, we ran this. And Charles Purvis, sorry, brother, I did not have this in my account. This whole video in total is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So right now I asked it to go get some Python scripts, some things, right? Like the final version of this after, and I'll just pause it right here and kind of explain. So what we did was, after we ran through everything, right? We asked it then to take the response and put it into a dashboard and show the dashboard and explain everything that it did and everything else, right? And what's kind of wild here is that, first of all, no one's going to have to learn how to code or do any of this. We built this out so that now when somebody wants to do this again, all they have to do is just ask in natural language, right? But we built it as a group. And then now they can just ask in natural language and it'll run through all of this stuff, right? So it predicted that the opening price of the ES at 6 p.m. Was going to be 6,763. And what ended up happening was this. The main point of this was to pick direction, right? But obviously, you want something a little bit more like than just like, hey, up or down, red or green. Right. So what we did was on Saturday, November 8th, during a live demonstration, we predicted where the ES futures market would open on Sunday night. a full 26 hours before it happened. The setup, market closed Friday, November 7th. The cash session ended at 4 p.m. At $6,753.25. And the weekend gap ahead with uncertainty, especially around government shutdown news. Okay. So we needed to predict the Sunday 6 p.m. opening price. The point estimate that the AI came up with from a first draft run was 6,763, and it had a confidence band, which means low end and high end of where it thought it was going to fall, between 6,757 and 6,789. Okay, and we strategically played it conservative. All right. So factoring in the possibility that positive or negative news for the government shutdown could push the market one way or another. The result, Sunday, November 9th at 6 p.m., the actual open was 6,787. So TCG AI was off by only 24 points on the exact number, and the actual open landed right inside the confidence band. That's at low end, high end, just 2 points under the upper limit. And it 100% nailed the direction up. In fact, if we literally didn't have it playing it safe, it probably would have been a lot closer to that number.
It probably would have been more aggressive to the upside.
It definitely would have been. Why this matters. This was live. This was done publicly in front of people. There's no faking that. There was 600 people in there that saw this live. It made the perfect directional call. This is not a one-time incident. This is like the first time. This is the first time we've done it with futures, but it's not the first time that we've done it with equities and ETFs.
We did it with the SPY, Tesla. We did it a bunch.
Right. It's been consistently on. Okay. So strategic thinking accounted for the weekend news. Pinpoint accuracy nailed the confidence band perfectly. And the real edge, literally a 26-hour heads up, factoring in not just technicals, but sentiment and news and social media and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's absolutely wild. It's the first time we ever ran it on futures.
It's incredible. It's incredible. You know, and I think like the reasoning, like you said, about, you know, the thinking about the possibility of the news this weekend about the government shutdown, as you know, there were kind of whispers that they were trying to work towards something, and it factored that in. I think that kind of broader based catalyst is, and telling it to be a little conservative is probably why it gave us a little bit of a wider range. But it's very clear with a very high confidence reading that it's the direction that the AI was telling us that we expect to gap up when futures open up there Sunday. And this was done yesterday afternoon, well before we got any news about the government shutdown coming to an end. So this is not something that is like predicting the future. It's going through and it's analyzing thousands of data points. Well, like Adam said, it's analyzing the candlesticks with the price axis, analyzing indicators, it's analyzing options flow and dark pool data and level 3 and social sentiment and everything else. It's going through and analyzing all of those things to give you the highest probability of outcome, right? Yeah, there goes. I-15 Speeder says, absolutely true. I was in the class when Adam did this. TTD is the real deal, people. Yeah. So there's I-15 Speeder. Yeah, a lot of 600 people were with Adam live when he was doing this and saw it firsthand. I mean, this is just one of the things, one of the tools that are available to members through the TTD AI. It's unbelievable. It really, truly is.
Yeah, and what's really cool about this, I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff about this, but this is directly from our one of our head futures mod, Colin, who a lot of you guys know, and we got the Colin sign off tonight.
The Colin stamp of approval.
The Colin stamp of approval tonight. I sent it over to him, and I was like, dude, this is what took place. This is what happened. And he goes, holy poop. I said, and I did it live, and he goes, "That's sick."
We got another member there too, Adam. JP says, I was there also. This stuff is amazing. What can be built? Just awesome. You know, and there's Alex says, I confirm I was there on Saturday, right? Like these are members of True Trading, because that's the thing. I didn't want those of you that are not members. I didn't want you guys to be like, oh yeah, you said you called it yesterday. I get it, man. Trust me. I get it. I know how it might seem.
No, I'm gonna publish the whole 45-minute like session so that anyone can watch it.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. So you guys can watch the whole session if you want, but we grabbed a quick video clip just to kind of show you guys here. And then, like I said, a lot of members that are on this live stream right now were actually with Adam live when he did it yesterday. So just incredible. And you guys can actually watch the recording of watching them go through the whole predictive model all together. There's another one. Kev Dog was there as well. So you're seeing all these members.
It's just one of those things where, like, if you're not there, like, you're gonna think we're full of crap.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't fault anybody. I really don't. You know, I get it, but it's something you kind of have to see it to believe it. There's another one. Hey, Aga Fox. He goes, yep, I was there. Amazing. And then there's Armando. I was there too. I watched it live from 11 to 6 p.m. Like, it's incredible, guys. It really truly is. It really is. And this is the type of stuff that members have available to them, right? This is one AI capability of the AI tools that we have at True Trading Group. And this is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why True Trading Group has such a high success rate with its members. We have a retention rate with our members that's in the mid 70s. And the reason for that is that, very simply, our members make money. That's it. It's not because I'm the world's greatest trader. It's not because I teach them some special indicator I learned working at a hedge fund. It's because True Trading Group is a fintech platform that gives retail traders the tools and resources that don't just level the playing field for them, but actually gives them an edge over other retail traders. And that's why they make money. And, you know, don't just take my word for it. If you're not a member, I'll let members speak for themselves. Members of True Trading Group, if you guys are on this live stream, if you're making money with True Trading Group, I want you to go ahead right now and type the number 1 inside chat. You guys, you're making money. You're becoming better traders because of TTG. Type the number 1 in chat right now. Anyone here that's on this live stream that is not a member, I want you to pay very close attention to how many people you see type the number 1 on the side of the screen, because those are your peers, guys. These are your peers right here. These are your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your Uber drivers, your chiropractor, your accountant, the construction worker you drive past on your way to work. These are people that are no different than yourself. They found True Trading Group on a live stream. They invested in themselves. They became part of the platform. And now they're sitting here telling you that they're actually making money. If they can do it, so can you. Okay? They're not luckier than you, and they sure as hell don't have more time than you. That's not why they're successful. 82% of our members have a full-time job. If they can do this, then so can you. It's the tools. It's the resources. It's the guidance and the leadership and the mentorship. It's the camaraderie of the group. It's the education. It's the trade alerts. It's the AI. It's all of the above that comes together to allow people to be able to benefit and make money in the markets around their own schedule, when they can, how they can, and with consistency and with success and profitability. And at the end of the day, it's why we're all here, right? You're not here to look at the decorations that my wife puts behind me based on the season, right? You're not here just to look at the cool painting that hangs above my head. You're here because you guys want to make money. And if you want to make money, then look no further, because this is a place to be with a member retention rate that's well into the 70s. Our refund rate at True Trading Group is less than 2.5%. There's a reason for that. We have a partnership with the Nasdaq. We have a partnership with OpenAI, with TradingView, with Unusual Whales, with Benzinga. There's a reason why all of these companies have partnerships with True Trading Group. There's a reason why we have over 10,000 members in 115 different countries. It's because our members actually make money, guys. That's the truth. As much as I would love to say it's because I'm the world's greatest trader and I have a 100% win rate, that's why members make money, that's not it. Traded one day last week. I made $950 in 3 trades from KYs. It's incredible. Artur Gervakian says, you don't need to know anything. Just follow moderators. I promise you're going to make money. Well, listen, I really appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. We have some phenomenal moderators in True Trading Group. They're all professional traders that do this for a living. We do have some phenomenal traders. It's not just me. There's 8 other traders that share their screen with you. They trade with you live. They answer questions. They send out their entries for you and their exits so you guys can follow along with everything it is we're doing. We talk on the mic live. We give you our analysis throughout the entire day. But I appreciate the comment, but there's so much more to True Trading Group than just following the alerts. Obviously, if that's all you want, by all means, go for it. Their alerts are great. The moderators and I collectively have a win rate, a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of around 80%. So we track all of our entries, our take profits, our stop losses, green, reds, break even. It's all there for you guys to see. Upload it from our brokerage accounts onto the website. There for everybody to see. So fully transparent, open book. All right. But this is what makes True Trading Group great. It's a fintech platform that I think gives retail traders an edge. I'm curious, how many people are on this live stream right now? Okay. How many people are on here right now that are not a member? You guys do me a favor and just type the letters TTG if you're not part of True Trading Group. If you're not part of the community right now, even if you used to be and you're not anymore, or if you never have, just do me a favor and type the letters TTG, please, inside chat. Escondido goes, man, I'm only at a 74% win rate. Shucks. I love that. Escondido, great job, man. Great job. Sean Johnson goes, you're a great trader. I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. We got Gonzalo. We got Lance, Patricia, Neyferi. We've got Stephanie. I-15 goes, refund? That's a dirty word for TTG members. We don't need a refund. I love that. Russell Franklin, what's up, my man? How are you? Glad to see you guys all here. I appreciate you guys all being here. Ruthie, how are you? I really do. I appreciate you guys being here. It's Sunday evening. You guys can be watching football. Who's on tonight? I forgot. Who plays tonight? I forgot who plays tonight. The Chargers, I think. Chargers and somebody else. But, yeah, appreciate you guys all being here. You could be doing a million other things. You could be watching Netflix or watching football or anything else. Okay. David goes, I don't know what my win rate is, but I am up 30% on my capital. I love that. I was a member. I want to come back. Patricia, if you used to be a member and you want to join True Trading Group, Patricia, I would love to have you back. Patricia, I want you specifically to do me a favor right now. And you know what? This goes for anybody else on this live stream that used to be a member. Patricia and anyone that used to be a member, even if you used to be a trial, I want you to send a text message right now. Patricia, I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to do a real solid. Seriously, send a text message right now. 1-888-621-2127. Guys, can we maybe throw the number up on the bottom of the screen just so Patricia and somebody else and anybody else can go ahead and just send a text. There it is. Thank you, guys. So there's that phone number right down there. Patricia, anybody else, text that number right now. 1-888-621-2127. And this is what I need you to do. Patricia, I need you to text your name, your email address, and the word start. Okay? Your name, your email address, and the word start. Okay? And I'm gonna hook you up. We'll do you a real solid. Russell, you know what, man? Here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Russell says, I don't know what's going on, but I want in. Russell, I love it, man. Arturo says, thanks to Mike, I made my week with one trade. I made an 800% gain on OKLO. That's insane because I didn't even make an 800% gain on OKLO. So that's incredible, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that was my biggest trade of the week last week was the OKLO trade. So congratulations on that one. But here's the deal. Here's what I want you guys to do real quick. Okay. We have been very busy. We have not had a chance to update our sales page. Okay. We had the live AI training that happened over the weekend. Again, it was free for everybody to show you guys how to properly use all the AI tools. Again, award-winning AI tools, best AI analysis tool, Benzinga FinTech Awards. Okay. Showing you guys how to use all that stuff to the best that you can and how to use them properly, get the most out of it to help you guys. We've been super busy with that. So we have not updated our sales page yet. Okay. There are 8 more spots that remain before we were supposed to change it with 8 free laptops. Okay. So here's the deal. There were only 8 of them, but the next 8 people that joined True Trading Group, it's 1 year. It's a 1-year membership for $997. but it also comes with a brand new free laptop. The laptop is right there on the screen. It's a 15.5-inch Acer. Okay, it comes with Microsoft 365, Windows 11. It's got the AMD Ryzen GPU. It's got the AMD graphics card. It's totally free, but only for the next 8 people. So if you need a holiday gift for somebody, or you need a laptop for work, or maybe your kid needs it for school, whatever, that is going to be free, but only the next 8 people. We only have 8 of them. You can go to ttgoffer.com. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. Everything you see on that page is included for $997 for the entire year. Okay. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. It's an Acer 15.5-inch full HD laptop. It's totally free. How do you know you're getting one? There's a counter right there on the checkout page. It says spots claimed. It says 0 of 8, only 8 laptops remaining. So when one person joins, it's going to say 1 of 8, 7 remaining. Okay. Everything there is included. Now, the price is going up every day until we get to January. The price will be $14.97 for the year. It's $9.97 right now. And the next 8 people that join get the free laptop. It does come with a double your money back guarantee. Brandon Mosley, $55,000 in realized profit year to date. Thanks, TTG. I'm a plumber. Did this while working basically a 24/7 job. If you are serious, join. That's my man, Brandon Mosley. Congrats. Aga Fox says, I had to cash out my account 2 months ago. Thanks to TTG, I was able to turn $300 into $3,000 within a month, growing my account once again. Love you guys. Brandon, Aga Fox, I love to hear this stuff. I love to hear this stuff. Music to my ears. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, absolutely incredible, man. And then we have the double your money back guarantee. I want you guys all to be aware of as well. It's right on the checkout page. It's right there. Just read it. Okay. So the double your money back guarantee is as follows. Our refund rate at TTG is less than 2.5%. So as a way to show you how much that we believe that our platform can help you, we offer double your money back. So we ask you to join. You pay $9.97. Okay. If you cannot make the $9.97 back at least once during the membership, we'll give you back $1,994. So that's double the money. We ask you to do the following things though. You need to complete all of the courses that we have on the site. Okay. Complete the courses we have on the site. Pass the quizzes at the end of the courses with a grade of 85% or higher. That's not the trick. You actually get the answer key. So if you but don't sell yourself short. You can take the quizzes as many times as you want, but that's not like got you. You get the answer key, but don't cheat yourself, right? Like actually take it. And then if you're really having a hard time and you can't figure out, go check out the answer key. Okay. But just do it. Go through the courses, do the quizzes. You need to log onto our platform at least 50 times throughout the year and actually use the platform. You can't just sign up for $9.97, never log in and be like, I didn't make any money. Give me $2,000, right? We're not stupid. You need to also trade with real money, total amount of dollars traded. That would be double the membership cost. And if you do that and you are still not able to make back the $9.97 at least once, we'll give you back $1,994. That's the deal. It's right there. It's right there in front of your face. It's literally highlighted in green font. Says it right there. Guaranteed. Double money back guarantee. It's right there. It's real. It's for you guys. You're also getting Mari. That's the AI trading co-pilot, right? That's what received the Benzinga FinTech Award. It's your personal AI trading assistant 24/7. Ask it market questions, get trade ideas, analyze charts, get personalized insights and guidance from the AI. You get our chat room where the mods and I share our screen and we're live on the mic, calling out trades, answering questions. You get real-time market data. You're going to get all of our professional charting tools. You get the whole educational library with all the courses, the workshops, and the video recordings. You get access to the entire True Trading Group community, TTG Social, which is a social media platform specifically for verified members of True Trading Group. So it's all the stuff you love about social media without all the shit you hate. There's no politics. There's no spam. There's no bots. You know that whoever you're talking to on that platform is a member of TTG. that shares the same goals as you. People share charts. They talk about trade ideas. They get input, guidance, analysis. They talk about AI prompts and everything else. It's amazing. You guys get access to that, the mobile app, to get all the trade alerts sent directly to your cell phone via push notification. So if you're not in front of your computer, don't sweat it. You got the mobile app so you can know when the moderators enter and exit positions. And you get all this stuff instantly. It's $9.97 for the whole year. Now, we do have payment plans available for those of you that need flexible payment options. The $9.97 is the best value by far. You pay $9.97 today, you got access for the whole year. But if you would like to pay this in a payment plan, there's a lot of options available to you. You can pay $197 down right now and get started with everything immediately. You're just going to owe us $118 a month for the next 11 months. Now, if you choose a payment plan, you will receive your free laptop once you complete your payment plan. You can't put $197 down right now, get the free laptop, and then not make your second month's payment. There's no collections on these payment plans. If you just don't make your payment plan, you just lose access to the platform. Okay? You can do a 90-day plan, which is $397 down, $425 a month for 2 months. You can do a 30-day plan, $497 down, $650 30 days from now. You can do a 6-month plan, whatever works for you. Okay? It's whatever works for you. Okay? Yes, we do have a free trial. Okay? But the price to sign up is $14.97 after you do the trial, and it does not include the laptop. So what we're doing right now is you can join our trial if you want. It's free. Okay? But if you do the trial and you're like, this place is great, I want to join, the price of our membership is $14.97 for the year. And it does not come with the free laptop. If you want to join right now and get the free laptop, it's that $9.97 for the year plus the free laptop, or any one of the payment plans I just mentioned to you. So we do have that free trial, but honestly, with the price that I'm offering to you now, tonight's not the night to do the trial. All right. So again, there's 8 of those laptops remaining. The laptop is free. You guys have the double your money back guarantee. It's $9.97 for the whole year, or do one of the payment plans that makes the most sense for you, whatever's the most flexible. We have to welcome Patricia. Patricia, welcome back home. So Patricia was a member. I told Patricia, text us. We got something real special for you. Patricia, text us. Patricia, welcome back home. Former member of True Trading Group, now came back home. Welcome back to the family, Patricia. Anybody else that has any questions, send a text message, okay? 1-888-621-2127. Phone numbers at the bottom of your screen. 1-888-621-2127. Text your name, email address, and the word START, and any questions that you guys have. Brett, do me a favor, refresh the page. Okay, it's going to show 7 laptops now. So Brett, do me a favor and refresh the page. It'll now show that there are 7 laptops remaining. They are first come, first serve, guys. First come, first serve. 7 laptops remaining, ttgoffer.com. Get your butts in chat. I think it's going to be a wild and crazy week. Let's check on futures real quick. And we are now up at the highs of the session, up 0.65%. 0.65%. Okay? So we're up at 0.66, pushing up there towards highs of the session right now, guys. Okay? All right. So there we go. All right. Now with that, let's head on over. Let's head on over to the charts. Let's talk about some of the top trade ideas that we have coming up here for this week. Again, ttgoffer.com, right? Or you can text us, 1-888-621-2127. All right, guys. Now, how do you get the laptop? Okay, so Faith, how do you get the laptop? If you choose one of the payment plans, you will receive the laptop after you complete your payment plan. So let's say, for example, if you chose the 90-day payment option, okay? Once you complete the 90-day payment plan, then you will receive your laptop. If you paid the $997 tonight, okay, as long as you live in North America, US, Canada, okay, you will get that laptop sent to you. You don't have to do anything. You're going to get it within 30 days. If you live outside of North America, you're going to get that laptop within 60 days. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Does that answer your question? So when you sign up, you're going to give us your address. If you do the $997, you're going to get the laptop sent to you within the next 30 days. If you live outside of if you live within North America, you're going to get it within the next 30 days. If you live outside of North America, you'll get it within the next 60 days. Okay. What if you're old and you don't know how to use one? Russell, don't worry about it, man. We've got Adam will help you. Adam will help you. We have a couple of members in True Trading Group that are using our AI that are in their 70s and even 8. We have a member that I think that's 82 years old that I spoke to about a month ago that is actually using the AI. All right. So Adam will work with you. All right. With that said, let's take it on over to the charts. So we had, this big kind of reversal hammer candle that we had there on Friday. And now with futures, we are gapping up here. So here's what I'm going to say to you. Like I said before, I am not necessarily 100% sold. Oh, nice. There's Phil. Phil, 82 years young. I love it, man. I love it. Escondido, I'm 68 and I'm using the AI. I love it. That's the whole point of the AI, is to make things simpler and easier for you guys. All right. Nice, Russell. Russell, I look forward to working with you, brother. Look forward to working with you. All right. All right. So I'm not 100% convinced that this is the bottom. Guys, there's 6 left. There are now 6 laptops left. Okay. There are 6 laptops left. All right. There are 6 laptops left now. They are first come, first serve. All right. They are first come, first serve. Again, ttgoffer.com. Or you can send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. All right. Okay. So again, not 100% convinced this is going to be the low of the pullback and we're just going to go up from here. But with the way that the futures market looks right now, we have to come into tomorrow. We have to have some long ideas. But again, I'm not 100% convinced that that's the low. So I do have 2 shorts. All right. But let's talk about the longs here first. As far as the SPY is concerned, we just look for this area in the high 660s to continue to be support. So if there is any type of a pullback, you would expect price action to look something like this. Oops. What did I just do there? You'd expect price action to look something like this if we did get any type of a pullback, right? Something that looks like that. Okay, with that kind of price action off of the 50-day moving average, that dark blue line, that 50-day moving average was tested and did hold on Friday. So it looks like we might be heading back up to the upside. Okay, so that's how I look for on the SPY. But individual stocks that we're going to look at, we are going to be looking at Alphabet. Alphabet was my second biggest trade of the week, and that was a day trade that we made there on Wednesday that worked out really well for us. But when you take a look here, this earnings gap up is just holding nicely. So here Alphabet reported earnings of this huge gap up. You pulled in, you filled that earnings gap, kind of reconsolidated it. Here comes a 9 EMA. And I just feel like I just feel like you're going to get something that looks like this on Alphabet. All right, so we are going to be looking at Alphabet long here off of this 9 EMA and off of these mid 270s. So like 276, 277, we're looking for that to be support. And we're going to look for Alphabet to push back up into the mid to high 280s this week. Okay, again, it's going to be Alphabet to see if Alphabet can hold the mid 270s and push up into the mid to high 280s. Then we're going to Datadog. Datadog was an absolute monster last week. Great earnings, huge gap up, and then a nice inside consolidation day on Friday on day 2 of its earnings. And now I think you're ready for day 3 breakout. Okay. When you look at what the SPY did, on Friday morning, and you look at what the Nasdaq did on Friday morning, we sold off heavy. Datadog didn't budge. Okay, Datadog did not budge, and then rallied into the afternoon. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking for Datadog to put in something that looks like a candle that looks like this. We're going to be long Datadog. Okay, if we get pullbacks, we're going to be long into pullbacks into 190, and then breaks of like 193. And we're going to look for Datadog to push up and test all-time highs, which sits up in the high 190s. Your actual all-time high print is 199. Okay. So we are what is it? 199. What is this? Let me actually get you the exact all-time high print. Yep, 199.68. So we're going to look for Datadog to give us another day to the upside, and we're going to look for Datadog to give you kind of a breakout day here to push up and test that all-time high. Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking for there. Okay. All right, that's Datadog. Next up, we're going to actually take a look on over at a stock I haven't traded in a while. It's Carvana. Carvana did a really nice job, guys, of holding this support level. It was tested deeply. It looked like it broke, but it ended up holding things together. We got to welcome Bilal. I think that means we now have 5 spots left. So everybody welcome Bilal. We now have 5 of those laptops remaining. Everybody welcome Bilal. 5 laptops remaining. Again, ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page included. Choose the payment plan that works best for you. Send a text message if you guys have any questions or if you need help. 1-888-621-2127. So if we take a look here at Carvana, you got a huge support level here around like 290. And you'll see here previous resistance in February, resistance there in May. You broke above it. Then it was support in May. Then it was support in in June. Then it was support there in November. Okay. You pierced that level on Thursday, Friday, and then recovered it and reclaimed that level. I think pullbacks into that area, right? I think you look for Carvana to do something that looks like this. Okay, I think that you're going to get a nice extension move back to the upside after a confirmed test and hold of this support level. So we're going to look to establish support around 300, and we're going to look for Carvana to push back up into the 320s this week. Again, that's going to be Carvana to push up into the 320s. And I'm back. I'm not sure. I just got kicked out of the streaming platform. So just bear with me, guys, 1 second. Let me just pull all my stuff back up. One second here, folks. All right, we're good. All right, we're back. Okay, so that was Carvana. Next up, I mentioned it earlier in this live stream. I mentioned it before. It's Amazon. It's Amazon. I think the stimulus checks, I think that bodes really well. The stimulus checks and the government shutdown ending, and that bodes really well for Amazon just in time for the holiday spending season. And Amazon had amazing earnings. You had a huge gap up. We pulled back in, and now you're testing what used to be these flat top previous all-time highs. You pulled back in, you tested it, and it held. So I think we're going to be looking at Amazon possibly giving you something that looks like this. Okay, so we're looking for Amazon back to the upside. We're looking for Amazon back up into the high 240s. The high 240s. We also now need to welcome Jeffrey. Guys, welcome Jeffrey. These laptops are going. Not Jeffrey. Oh, not Jeffrey. Jeffrey did not join. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Jeffrey, I'm sorry. I got that confused. I thought you joined, brother. Jeffrey, you got to do me a favor, Jeffrey. You need to send a text message with the word start. So, Jeffrey, I'm talking to you directly. You send us a text message, 1-888-621-2127. But you need to text us the word start. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to respond back to you. Okay, so again, Jeffrey, I'm talking to you specifically. Just text the exact same number, Jeff, but just text the word start now. And then we can reply back to you, okay? All right, so Jeffrey, just text us and give us the word start. Okay, so we're looking for, again, a little bit of a bounce back and a move there on Amazon, all right? All right, so those are the 4 longs: Alphabet, Datadog, Carvana, and Amazon. Shorts, Adobe. I am really bearish on Adobe. I'm bearish on Adobe, not just chart wise. I'm bearish on Adobe, like fundamentally and like earnings wise. I think that their next earnings report is in December, but I'm bearish on Adobe. I think Adobe is going to break back underneath 300. I think Adobe might go back to like 280 or so. But I'm going to go to a weekly chart just to show you guys this setup. That is a massive descending triangle on the weekly chart. And if you break out of this, then we'll try to short a bounce back into that level and get something that looks like that. Okay. So this is Adobe. All right. This might not be a trade we take this week. It's most likely not a trade we take tomorrow, but I want to see a break of that support level, like a clean break of it. Okay, you can see we're kind of getting underneath it, but a bounce back into like 332, we'll look for that to reject and be resistance, put in a candle that looks like that, and then ride it, right? And then try to jump on that short. So that's what we're going to look for there on Adobe. All right, so we're going to look at for Adobe to be short in the low 330s with a stop loss around 334, 335, and you'll see if Adobe just kind of rolls over. And then last but not least, maybe quick little quick little day trade short on AMD possibly. So if Friday's bottom does not hold, you probably get AMD to trade back down to that huge gap up day and trade back down into like the 210s, like trade back down into here if the market does not hold Friday's bottom. And, we had this nice level here around 242, right? You can see this level used to be resistance, gapped up. It was then support. It was then support again. Then you broke it. So and look at this 9 EMA. See how the 9 EMA used to be support right here. Now you're underneath it. We would just look for a bounce back into like the mid 240s. So like a 243, 244, bounce back into there, and then reject and then pull back. Okay. And then reject and pull back and just do something that looks like that. Okay. And that's if Friday's low does not hold. Then I would think AMD does something like this. So I'm coming into the week a little bit of a bullish bias, but I am going to make sure that I continue to have short ideas in the back pocket just in case, because I'm not 100% sold on Friday's bottom. Okay, but as it sits right now, things look great. We're at the highs of the session on futures, up 0.67%. We're trading it back up to 6,800. So things are looking really good and really strong right now. We'll see if that remains the case in the overnight session and as we get into tomorrow. Okay. But those are going to be my trade ideas to start off the week. And obviously I'll add to that as we get news and other things happen throughout the week. We're going to add to that then also at that time, or we'll add to the list or we'll add to the watch list for that time. Anybody have any questions on anything that I just said? Anybody have any questions? Now would be the time to ask. Anybody have any questions? Any questions on what I just went through? Any questions? Now's the time to ask before we break. What's the next resistance on the SPY? Great question. 674. We're going to open where, it depends on where we open, but you might open above that. You might open above that. Depends what happens with the overnight session. So I'll just draw them out. Right? Here's your resistance. Okay. 674, 680, 686, 690. Those are your resistance levels in the SPY. Okay. Here's your resistance levels. 674, 680, 686, 690. All right. Those are your resistance levels. Thoughts on Palantir? Palantir did a really nice job of holding a major support level at 170. Let's go back. Let's draw it. So here we go. Previous gap up, earnings gap up, right? Structure broke underneath it, bounce back, resistance, show structure still alive. Then you break above it, pull back, support, structure still alive, pull back, support, structure still alive. Right? So there you go. So as long as Palantir is above this level, you look for bounces, look for the bounce to continue. I think with Palantir, I would expect something kind of similar to AMD. Palantir has resistance here in the high 180s. And I think that what you may see is Palantir do something that looks like this. Okay, I think you might see Palantir do something that looks like this. All right. So I'd say look for a 170 bounce to give you a little bit more upside, but then watch for resistance once you get into the high 180s and then a pullback from there, Jim. Do you expect the stimulus to do the same thing it did in 2022 with increased inflation? So Papa Muggsy, that's an excellent question. So what I think we might end up seeing is something similar. I don't think it's going to create the same type of inflation like you saw in 2022, because you have to remember, coming out of COVID, demand was through the roof. And people got stimulus checks, and a lot of people really didn't need them. Nobody was spending any money because they couldn't go anywhere and do anything. So we had more stimulus than we needed in 2020 and 2021. And that led, and this massive pent up demand where nobody was able to do anything or go anywhere. Once that, and supply chains were completely a mess, and it would take you, how many months to order a piece of furniture, or it would take you a year and a half to get a car. That's because supply chains were disrupted during COVID, and you had all that pent up demand. You don't have that this time around. You don't have insanely pent up demand. You do not have, strained supply chains. So I do not expect it to create anything close to the type of inflation that you saw into 21 and 2022. It's just a completely different economic environment. I don't think it's going to be this massively inflationary pressure. I think it's going to be a stimulus check that is going to be a little bit of a breather for lower end consumers that are are struggling right now with just the cost of living and with the inflation that we've had for the last several years. Right now, you have very different economies between the low-end consumer, the middle consumer, and the high-end consumer. And you just don't have all this crazy demand and all this tight restraints on supply to create the type of inflation that you saw in 2022. What I think does happen, what you're probably going to see is you're probably going to see bond yields move higher. These $2,000 stimulus checks are coming from our dividends coming from the tariff revenue that's been collected so far. That money was originally was supposed to have said to go towards paying down the debt. If that tariff revenue is not going towards the debt, then that means that the debt and the deficit that we thought the deficit was and the debt that we have is now increased by the amount of the money that is being paid through the tariff dividend, because that's money that's not going towards paying the debt. So that'll probably create a upward pressure in bond yields. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow you're looking at a 10-year bond that's staring at like 4.15, something like that. So I would expect bond prices to drop, and I would expect yields to move higher. I think that it becomes pretty clear, and this is what I'm kind of looking at. I think it becomes clear, and we do have to welcome Justin. Justin just joined. Everybody welcome Justin. Justin just joined, newest member to the group. I think we have four of those laptops left now. Everybody, 4 laptops left now. So welcome, Justin. ttgoffer.com. They are first come, first serve. Any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. Text your name, your email address, and the word start. All right. So I think it's becoming pretty clear that I think I wouldn't be surprised to see like maybe the bond vigilantes come back a little bit, because it's become pretty clear that we're just not going to address the debt situation at all. Stimulus checks, money that was supposed to go towards paying down the debt is not. It's going to go into people's pockets, and the federal workers that were laid off as part of cutting government spending, they're being brought back on. So basically, you're going to be looking at erasing whatever government spending cuts that there were, and you're going to be looking at the tariff revenue that was going to go towards paying down debt is not going towards paying down debt. And it becomes pretty clear that between the Fed cutting rates, the Fed stopping quantitative tightening, they have not announced quantitative easing yet. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if in December they did kind of hint towards it. So between the Fed cutting, the Fed stopping tightening, possibly the Fed doing quantitative easing, stimulus checks, it just becomes clear that nobody is going to address the debt situation. And I think that, people are worried about an AI bubble. I think the real problem lies in a debt bubble. And again, I believe that is a, what's the saying? The chickens come home to roost, whatever it is. I eventually think that is going to happen. It's just not a today problem. It's a tomorrow problem. And I think that what we might end up seeing is a massive melt up in the market with cuts, QE, stimulus, et cetera, as debt continues to compound. And you look at all this CapEx, hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars over the next several years in AI CapEx and data center build out. And you look at where is a lot of this debt going in the private sector, it's going towards data center. Data center debt is just, and we have to welcome Janine. Janine, welcome, guys. 3 laptops left now. There's only 3 spots left. Okay, Janine, welcome to the TTG family. That is ttgoffer.com, guys. 3 of them left. Choose whatever payment plan works for you. Everything on that page is included, but the next 3 people that join do get themselves a free laptop. All right, that's Janine. Where was I? Oh, the data centers. So you're talking about a tremendous amount of debt. Okay, a tremendous amount of debt being kind of piled on with these data centers. And they're also being tied to commercial mortgage-backed securities. So if you guys, that's a CMBS. So you remember the MBS, okay, mortgage-backed securities. So subprime mortgage-backed securities was which was the issue behind the 2008 stock market crash and recession and everything else. But now you have these data center build outs are being tied to CMBSs, which are commercial mortgage-backed securities, which have also commercial mortgage-backed securities, CMBSs, have actually just last week hit their highest delinquency rate ever in history, CMBSs. So, with all this debt that's being piled on with these data centers, I think eventually there's going to be an issue there down the road as these build outs continue and this debt just kind of gets piled on. But just from a government perspective, the government debt is just a problem that is not getting better. It continues to get worse with every minute that we live and breathe. The debt situation gets worse. And eventually it's going to be a problem. So I wouldn't be surprised if with all of this, the stimulus and the easing and everything else, that the bond vigilantes don't show their face. But I don't think it's going to be something that's going to cause like 6, 7, 8, 9% inflation like we saw in 2022. Oh, 50-year mortgage. Instead of calling it a 50-year mortgage, just call it a never own your home. Just call it never own your home. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of a 50. I saw that, but I'm definitely not a fan of a 50-year mortgage. The problem is, the problem is, home affordability has gotten so far out of reach for so many people that the solution is not, here's if you want my solution on the housing market and home affordability, it's certainly not a 50-year mortgage. It's certainly not a 50-year mortgage, but I think you got to make a law that restricts massive institutions like BlackRock from buying up single-family real estate properties and renting them out. You've got to stop that. So you've got to stop that, and then you got to lower some regulations, and you've got to create incentives and tax incentives to spark a massive build out and a boom of new home supply. You got to create incentives for that because it's a supply issue. There's no supply. That's the problem. That's why, there is no supply. A 50-year mortgage doesn't solve that problem. A 50-year mortgage just means you're never going to own your home. And that's why you need to join True Trading Group. So you don't need a 50-year mortgage. Join True Trading Group, get a 30-year mortgage, but change your payment to be biweekly and then take one of your monthly principal payments, divide it by 12 and add that to your monthly payment, and you'll pay it off in less than 15 years. Done. Save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest over time. But to do that, you need to have the extra income. You need to have the extra disposable income in order to put down those extra payments. That's where TTG comes into play, so that this stuff doesn't matter, right? That it doesn't matter if there's a 50-year mortgage or a 40-year mortgage or interest rates or this or that. That it doesn't matter because you'll be generating some supplemental income that you can put towards the principal on your mortgage, so you can pay your mortgage off in half the time. If you can pay your mortgage off in half the time, you're going to save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. If you took let's say your mortgage payment, I'm just making up a number. Let's say your principal mortgage is $4,000. Okay. Let's say that your principal mortgage is $4,000. I'm making up a number. Okay. If you live in New York, New Jersey, or California, it's way more than that. Okay. But let's just say it's $4,000. You don't pay $4,000 once, pay $2,000 twice. Okay. Pay $2,000 on the first, pay $2,000 on the 15th, and then take the $4,000, divide it by 12, whatever that number comes out to be, add that to your monthly payment. You'll split your mortgage in half and save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. Join True Trading Group. Make this up. Make the extra income there. Put it down towards your mortgage. Principal. Put it towards your principal. That's what I did. I paid my mortgage off in 15 years. Exactly. So you can go with the 30-year mortgage, the lower interest rate than the 15, but then you pay the 30-year this way, and it becomes a 15-year mortgage, and you save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the stuff that you guys. Listen, some people want to become a full-time trader, right? I paid $20K extra in 2 years. Incredible. That's how you do it. Some people will do this because they want to become full-time traders. They want to buy a Lamborghini. Some people do this because they just want to retire 2 years earlier than initially planned and buy back 2 years of their lives. Other people just want to earn a little bit extra money so they can breathe, so that they don't care about the price of groceries, so that they could beat their mortgage. Karina Brown's, okay, so what I said was if you have a 30-year mortgage, okay, instead of paying your mortgage once a month, you pay it twice a month. You set it to bi-weekly payments. You'll pay, so take your payment, you split it in half, you pay on the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month instead of paying once a month. So you're going to pay it bi-weekly. You're not going to pay it once a month. That sneaks in an extra payment in the year. But what you then do is you take whatever your monthly principal is, divide that number by 12, and add that number to each payment that you make on the month. In this case, you would take that divided by 2 because it's going, you're making the payment twice, right? So let's say I'm making up a number. Let's say it's $400. You would take an extra $200 and you'd put that towards the payment on the 1st, and you take an extra $200, you put that towards the payment on the 15th. You do that, you're going to turn a 30-year mortgage into a 15-year mortgage. You're going to save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's all about getting your principal down as fast as you can, because the interest is based off of your rolling principal. The faster you can get the principal down, the less you pay in interest. Join True Trading Group, make a couple extra $100 a month, put it towards your mortgage, because that extra couple $100 is going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the year, over the life of your mortgage. So that's it, guys. That's what it comes down to. TTGoffer.com. There's only a couple of the, and Russell, I didn't see your payment come through, Russell. So Russell, I'm giving you a heads up, brother. We did not see your payment come through. Okay, Russell, we did not see your payment come through. So just letting you know. If you have any issues, Russell, text us 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Okay, 1-888-621-2127. My credit is over 700 and I am paying my debt little by thanks to what we do here at TTG. Family thankful forever. I love that. This group has changed my life. If you are not a part of it, you are not doing yourself justice. Join. I love it. I love seeing these comments, man. I really do. I love it. Guys, if you are not a member, go to ttgoffer.com. Grab yourself a free laptop. You have a double your money back guarantee. Also, send us a text message if you guys have any questions. 1-888-621-2127. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys really enjoyed the live. I hope I hope you're ready to get to business, get down to work. Hope you're ready to get to business here. I think it's going to be a busy week. We also have a lot of economic data we have to get caught up on. I'm very, very, very interested to see that. Okay. I'm very interested. No, Edward, I'm no longer in the OKLO short. We took final profits on the OKLO short on Friday. I do not have that position anymore. Okay. I really, really, really am interested to see what the BLS, the labor report. When are we going to get the labor report? All the delayed jobs data, when are we getting that? That's what I want to know. That's going to be a huge deal when that gets released. Okay? It's going to be a huge deal when that labor report gets released. We'll make sure that we're ready and prepared for that. But that's another catalyst that could be an outlier that can have major market moving implications if and when that data, well, I mean, not if, market opens, we're going to get it. So when that data comes out, okay? So that's it, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, show some love, turn on your notifications, don't ever miss out. ttgoffer.com, select the payment plan that works for you. There's only a couple of those laptops left. Text us with questions. I'll see you guys all tomorrow, guys. Have a great night. Take care.